Zach,
18-year-old on the casting couch.
What? What's the problem?
Zach, leave the room
18-year-old
now.
first casting couch
Get out while you
appearance.
can. They're gonna make you take your clothes off.
Well, I thought it'd be nice to have the couch because we might have a guest, although maybe he's stuck in traffic or whatever. It doesn't matter.
What's your name?
My name is.
What are you going to school for?
Oh God.
Well, I want to be a nurse.
Okay,
Oh, God.
we can't go
Yeah,
down
we
this
can't
road.
go
But
It's too
I
depraved.
need to study some anatomy.
Okay.
Oh no, he's into it, so it's okay, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, we have consent.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, it's been a week. It's been more than a week.
It's been a minute since I saw you tour.
Oh right, yeah.
Since because the previous episode I wasn't on because I was like stuck in a work thing, and then we couldn't get it together. We couldn't get it up for the last week, and so we got all these pent up podcasting juices that I kind
Get
of.
it up.
So much has happened. You have
We're
a story?
We're filled to the brim.
You have a story about Greg Coleman.
Oh, I do have a story about Greg
What
Coleman.
did Greg Coleman do?
Oh my god. Okay, so I was this last week. I filled in at a shift at Comedy Corner Underground. I was doing the booth at Absolutely Haram, which is Ahmed Khalaf's Thursday show, and closing it out was Greg Coleman. And Greg Coleman, you know, he's a great comic, local headliner. He's a guy who's known though.
He was a punter for the Minnesota Vikings, actually.
Really?
No, his dad was.
His dad was, yeah.
But his dad is also named Greg Coleman.
Is he Greg Coleman the second?
I think he's Greg Coleman the third.
Okay, he's in a long line of Greg Colemans. But he's a very funny comic, but he's known
It's
for
weird to
going
think about.
along.
Hold on. It's weird to think about people like in like you know, you hear like the fourth or whatever. That means there was some dude in like 1910 named Greg.
Mhm.
That's a weird
Named
name.
Greg Coleman.
There's
Like,
some dude. Was Greg
He's
a
like
name?
worried
Like,
about the Spanish flu.
there's no King Gregs. Is there a King Greg?
Is there? I think there is. I think there's like
There's
a
gotta be.
King Gregory.
King
That sounds
Gregory.
like it. Yeah, that sounds like it's plausible. Or Emperor Gregory, or Pope Gregory. I think that's in the mix.
There is a
I don't know
Pope
about
Gregory. No
There's
way.
gotta
No,
be.
there's no popes named Greg. Popes get
I
to
mean,
like
we-
choose their
we could
name when they
we
eat
could
the
so
royal
easily
jelly and
Google
become
it.
pope.
Although
No.
the laptop that I'm recording this on is like on a stool, and I am scared that I'll touch it and they'll all fall off. So I'm trying not to Google anything this episode.
Is this a new laptop, Zach? I have this question because you're streaming now over
Yes.
at twitch.tv/ZA
ZA Kagan.
Kagan. And your setup is getting incrementally better.
Very, very slightly. I've just improved the lighting. This is just the camera, the webcam, the CIA webcam on the laptop. And I can't say that it's all that great, but it does the job well enough.
It's good.
But
think
like
it's good,
it does
Zach.
help that I have lights. I set up a big light here. Maybe it's dangerous now that I'm moving the laptop.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm in the back room at Sisyphus. This is the Sisyphus green room.
This is really like your second home.
Of course. Well, I came here today after derailing my Greg Coleman story.
Yeah, we
but
haven't
it's
even
okay.
gotten to the Greg Coleman story.
Whatever. So I came to Sisyphus because I had to go pick up cards for my modern deck. This is the week before RC Denver, and I'm still missing some cards for my modern deck. And so I needed to find like a second copy of Dismember, and I needed to find a second copy of Gemstone Caverns. Gemstone Caverns, a $55 card.
Very
that Andrew
expensive.
is just like, yeah, we're gonna put two of them into our deck. You know, go find them, Zach. It's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna start shelling out the dough for this thing.
What
I mean,
is-
I already got the
what again?
hotels and whatever. What?
What does it do again?
Okay, so Gemstone Caverns, try to keep the magic on this podcast at the absolute minimum. But
That's fine.
Zach,
It's
it's okay. Go off, dude.
it's a colorless land, right? But if you're not, basically it's a wastes. But if you're not the starting player, so if you're on the draw and it's in your opening hand, it's like a ley line. You can put it on the battlefield, and it comes into the play with a luck counter, which means that it can tap for any mana. Hey, Moiz, come in here. We already started. We don't have time to waste here. What are you talking about?
Now it really is a casting couch. Can you just stand there and
really
ask me
is
some questions
casting-
from behind camera
That's
for a
how
little
it
while?
is.
Get in. Here we go. Now, this is how janky our setup is. You have to take an earbud. Because I don't have multi-channel. So this works. Okay. This is good. We're joined here by my dear friend, local Minneapolis comic, Moiz Hasan.
Hi, what's up?
Okay.
My name isn't actually Daniel Pinochle. I'm Tor.
Hi, I'm Micah.
Hi.
And this is Micah. These are my co-hosts. And of course, there's Mike Lester, but he's on vacation right now, right? Is he in like Hawaii or something?
I think he's
How does
in,
that
he's
boy-
in
that boy
Mexico.
takes- That boy gets around the globe, man.
Yeah, he's jet setting.
Yeah, he's golfing. He's doing his tour. He's doing like more dates than Joe Pera.
Dude,
Is
there's some more dates than Joe Perry. What?
What was that?
Did you
Joe
just,
Perry's doing a lot of
why
dates.
did you just name drop?
I don't know. Look,
I know he's a funny dude, but like Joe Pera?
What if I here? I'm gonna switch. Oh God.
yeah. What,
There we go.
Okay,
There we go.
cool.
This feels more appropriate.
This is a good. I like
This is
one.
nice.
So I was just saying, just finishing this story, I had to buy this $55 Magic card at a game store today for this deck that I need to play this weekend. And I felt kind of, okay, so this is going to make me seem like such a boomer, like complaining about this. But like I buy this $55 Magic card, and the guy just like takes it out of the case, gives it to me. And then he has like the prompter, and then it comes up with like a tip. And of course I'm like...
Wait, you're asking they're pulling the tips thing at fucking Magic card stores now?
Yeah, Lodestone. They're gonna have.
Oh.
I mean, it's also a coffee shop, so I think that's
it is
maybe
a coffee
why.
shop. They're sneaky. That's sneaky.
But
I don't know.
like,
We gotta put a stop to this.
do you
Zach,
think
in
I'm
that
an
scenario,
asshole?
that's fine. That's completely fine.
That's
Okay,
completely fine.
But he
That's
was looking at me with a
completely
little bit of
fine.
stank, and I didn't want to
No.
pay like 15% tip on a $55 Magic card.
Yeah, don't touch that.
You got a card out of the.
Did you tip at all?
No,
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
but, like,
no,
I don't know. Like, I guess
I think you're overthinking things, Zach, a little.
Probably.
Zach,
Are
you
you
gotta
stressed?
fight
What's
against
going
the
on,
tide.
buddy? What's happening?
I'm a little stressed. That's why we have Moiz on the show.
Oh, okay.
actually.
Because I'm stressed a lot.
No, because you're very calm. You're a very
Oh,
calm
okay.
person.
In the raging sea,
Yes, your boat is always well anchored,
shining light.
and
You're the
what is this
Sargassum
metaphor?
Sea Mid-Atlantic current.
Okay, yes,
Yeah,
you're
there
very
you go.
you got Pacific vibes, definitely.
No, the Sargassum Sea is in the Atlantic. You
Okay.
fools! Get your
Sar-
ocean.
You
Sargasso
idiot,
Sea
Zach.
is the one that like you're in, and then like your ship gets lost, right? It's like in
It's
the
like it's kind of
Bermuda
this. Yeah,
Triangle.
no. It's like there's like the meeting of like a bunch of different ocean currents, and it sort of creates like this kind of dead zone where like ships can
Okay.
kind of.
Tor, I watched the Bermuda Triangle X-Files app where they get older.
Oh,
like
okay.
season
Oh,
2.
you got me so excited. The one where where like the ship and they slow. Where are you at in X Files? I need to know.
I'm season 3 right now. I just
Yeah.
finished that goat episode
I
that I'm
watched
fucking.
like one episode. The intro song used to scare me too much, so I've never watched it.
You were scared by the intro song.
It's creepy.
It is scary. Let's pull it up. Let's pull
it
that shit up.
Wait, how old were you though?
Well, when it was airing, so like 7.
Okay, well, I guess that's fair.
We
Most
used to
things.
watch X Files as a family at my house. That was like the only thing we ever watched as a family was X Files.
Wow.
It was like really young. That's probably why I love it so much.
But, like,
you gotta
didn't-
watch it, dude. It's like it's the progenitor of all modern media.
Oh,
You like The
yeah.
Last of Us?
I have played the first Last of Us. Yeah.
Well, X Files did it first.
Yeah. So it's kind of like
Oh,
The
this is just the
Simpsons.
song. Sorry. We gotta find the intro. Here we go.
Okay, wait. Is this
Carter.
Okay.
There
Who's the
used
Chris
to-
Carter you're
There
thinking
used
of?
to be a football player.
The football, yeah, the Viking. Yeah, there's a
but
wide
he-
receiver
but
for the
he
Vikings.
spells it without the age. It's not the same.
In the
Okay,
criminal
that's
justice
weird.
system.
Oh no,
Oh,
gosh.
this is also iconic.
Here
God,
we
this
go.
this is relaxing me. Okay.
Wow,
What are you
I have to
looking
find
for?
it.
Oh, are we
Um,
gonna get struck again for this? Because we are gonna get struck one time
We got what
I
do we
don't
get struck
think-
for?
for
I don't
using
know.
footage from like on Fatal Ground or whatever.
Did you guys
Really?
like watch the whole movie?
Well,
What
no.
did you do?
No, we for on fate. Wait, the Steven Seagal movie, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
on Deadly Ground, maybe is that what it's called?
Yeah. Wait, seriously? We got struck.
Yeah, we got copyright struck. It's
We
not
didn't
on
get
YouTube.
struck, but it just got literally yeeted from YouTube. They just took it down.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
You have to
Steven
mute-
Seagal
mute
is
the audio.
deadly.
Yeah, we just have half the podcast muted because we were just watching this movie. That's where this podcast. Just to give you a little timeline, Moiz, of this podcast, like years 1 and 2 were pretty dedicated Magic podcasts.
Okay.
And then years like 3 and 4, we kind of like entered the wilderness of like golf and hot dogs. And now, like, we're just figuring it out, you know? We're
Yeah, Zach has like you're weirdly like reflexively always thinking
trying
about
to
our
amplify
eras.
the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I
I
was
was
the only one
right,
that
bro.
cares about the eras too. We're just adrift. I like just being adrift.
But as we pause on Mullis.
Yeah, this is what I was trying to get at.
All right, good.
No,
That was worth
that's-
it.
That was worth it because
Eventually, I will finish this Greg Coleman story. But the other reason I think the Moiz directly intersects with our interest is because you were at like the nationals for KeyForge.
Yeah,
You're a KeyForge
I
gamer.
played in the Worlds in 2023, which was the first Worlds they ever had because they were gonna have Worlds in 2020 and then it got COVIDed. So
Wow, they submit the fake mind virus got to them, huh?
well, I mean, it almost killed the game, but
Okay, well.
it's back now.
Cool.
Or at least I think this is the first year we have local OP since 2020, so it's like kind of feels like the make or break, but who knows?
For the game. Okay, so do you want to explain, like, because our
Yeah,
audience
that's-
is mostly like either middle-aged dads or divorced dads who have like played Magic
Who
like
have like
10
a
years ago.
perverse fascination
1997
with
or
man
whatever.
childs.
Yeah. So, but maybe not all of them played KeyForge.
Yep. So KeyForge, just to give like a summary, it's Richard Garfield made KeyForge because he was like, I want it like a card game that feels like the early days of card games where everything is kind of, random or thrown
Mhm.
together. So it's a unique deck game where the decks are pre-built and there's not really any deck building. So then, and then of course from there it has like a weird history where the first set was like hyper successful and then from there it kind of tapered off, and then FFG, who was the original publisher,
Fantasy Flight
Yeah,
games, right?
Yep. They got like ransomware attacked, and then supposedly lost the algorithm for making new decks.
What?
They
What?
lost the Allspark.
Yeah, and then so the original CEO of Fantasy Flight Games, Christian T. Peterson or Pearson or something, he started his own company and then he bought out KeyForge and brought it back in 2022 or 2023.
Did
So
they?
he saved IP.
Did he find the algorithm, or did he?
Well, they
have to
they rebuilt it, but those old sets will never get printed again, so it's fine.
I don't get, like, was it like a blockchain algorithm? Like, why was it?
Well, it's like the decks are procedurally generated because they're unique, right? And then
That's cool.
They have to cut and print each deck one at a time.
Oh, that's interesting. So, like, if you've never seen a KeyForge like deck, the back of each
even
deck,
the backs are unique too.
and that's how you determine like what card is supposed to be in what deck.
And the names are kind of like randomly generated.
Yeah, the names of each deck, that kind of sounds like if you like go to like a password generator site and it gives you like purple monkey dishwasher. Like it's that kind of vibe.
That.
Yeah, but like that's how you determine like what your deck is. And so like it kind of on the one hand, it's kind of cool because you pick up a deck, you open it, and that's the deck that you play. But then also it has this kind of perverse metagame where like people just like open a bunch of decks to find the most powerful one.
Right. Well, and that's kind of so. Again, Richard Garfield has pure intentions, and then they get perverted. But
that's never happened before.
Because this new company that Christian Peterson started, it's called Ghost Galaxy. They introduced a like pseudo deck building format where you can then combine. So each deck is it's 36 cards, 12 cards split across 3 houses, right? And there's like a total of 12 houses in the game. So now they added like a pseudo deck building format where you pick 3 different decks from the same set and mash them together.
Oh, you shuffle them up? Okay.
Yeah.
Wang was suddenly...
Oh, yeah, these are... I think they had some names that are now banned in the very early print run.
The emperor that pays for boys.
I don't know if there's like a comprehensive list of the banned names. Like...
The boy who basically...
Yeah, the farmer of racism.
Wait, this is so cool. I had no idea that there was...
I kind of want to play this game now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are...
General Bone Rider Cult?
That's good stuff.
Mars? There's just a little green gray man alien?
The Mars faction is just like aliens.
Like, yeah, Roswell.
They have... Thematically, they have like a lot of stunning or like taking your opponent's creatures and
probing them.
Yeah, controlling them or like capturing your opponent's cards in your archive or whatever.
Wait, this is so sick. I love Tom Brick, the teacher of socialism. I love procedurally generated shit like No Man's Sky and Dwarf Fortress. Like, oh my god.
It's so funny how like this stuff we find charming, but like AI is like people get so up in arms about. It's like,
well, it's not the same thing.
It's pretty close, no?
Well, I'm up in yeah, I mean they're not stealing.
You're just taking the cards and randomly smushing them into a deck, right?
Yeah. Well, you're not like stealing other people's like art or whatever.
You're not trolling the entire database of human art.
Mm-hmm.
These are like Lola Tango song names. This is crazy.
It that wickedly supports taxation. Yeah, that sounds like a banger. That could be on like a Neutral Milk Hotel album. Yeah, I remember when this started, when KeyForge was like first started up.
Yeah, 2018, I think.
Yeah, because I was in my office there. Like our office manager was really into KeyForge, and he would like bring all these decks. And we recently like downsized offices, but like he left the company years ago, but all of his KeyForge decks were just there. And I don't know whatever happened to them, but like I'm presuming that they just like dumped all these decks somewhere. So
you should have
swiped that, Zach.
Yeah, I guess
there might have been some gold in there. That actually is an issue I think people run into where they have like so many decks, and it's like, what do I do with these kind of low to mid tier decks?
Well, this is what what do you do if you're like common and like bulk rare Magic cards? You either like sell them at bulk or you just trash them.
So you just have like 1,300 decks sitting in a box somewhere.
Are there any like that just were like too ridiculously OP that like
haven't even banned?
No, they haven't banned any decks outright. There's been some talk this year of doing like a deck ascension for higher level OP, which if they do go that route, it's just speculating on how it would work. Like, so there's worlds, and then the level below that is national championships, and then they have these things called vault tours. And there's one deck that won, I think, 2 vault tours and nationals last year. But then it went 0-2 in worlds and got eliminated. So there's.
But when we say one deck, it's like a deck that one guy has.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Or the other
really interesting concept.
There is an issue where people will share decks,
Sure.
like
Just pass it
across
along.
teams, or like
Yeah.
so like the same deck might be at 3 different nationals because people are just trading it back and forth. But
Interesting. That's weird. Okay. And then like the nationals itself, that was like here. It was in Minnesota, right?
well, Worlds was here because
Okay,
this
sorry,
is a nice thing about Ghost Galaxies that they are based in Roseville, so it's like people are like flying in from Roseville, Minnesota. It's like just kind of north.
Oh no, I live in Roseville.
Where in Roseville you want to like? It's where the Fantasy Flight Game Center used to be. It got changed to Game Center.
Yes, Game Center.
Wait, Game Center? Really? That's
where Worlds was.
Are you?
That's where they had
fucking
Worlds?
kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah, people flew in from like France and Germany and stuff.
No, that's so weird. Okay, so I was really baffled by Game Center because I deliver pizzas. I always like, they tip really well there, by the way. But like, so this Game Center, it opened in a place that's like, you wouldn't really put a commercial like a game.
Yeah, it's next to like a VR place and like
that
an
VR place
auto
just
parts store.
Yeah, when it first opened, there was like hardly. It was the auto parts store, and there was like nothing else. And I wanted that area.
There's also a bike shop.
I think that bike shop is closed now.
Zach knows where all the bike shops are.
It also was very expensive.
There's like an R, but it's kind of off the beaten path is what I'm getting.
Yeah,
you kind of have to go. It's by like a Motel 6 and a shitty hotel that like traffics humans.
Yes, it's very funny. Like the U.S. Nationals were at Gen Con, and then like the Worlds is in this random building in Roseville.
But here's the thing, so like they opened up, and I was like, oh, dude, this is so cool. They're like another game store, but I was like, man, they're not going to make it this location. Like there's just like and then. Dude, like the parking lots are just packed. The parking lot is just packed now, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" So that makes sense now that there's like this huge, there's like a KeyForge backing to because like I
don't think KeyForge is all of that.
I don't think KeyForge is just keeping it afloat. I think it's more like wargaming and stuff. But
I was really impressed that they're so
this place.
They're doing
for context, it has its own cafe. Like you can get like chicken fingers and whatever.
But also the CEO of Ghost Galaxy, the company that bought out KeyForge, also owns that building. So they save on like a venue rental when they hold events there.
Sure. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean, like, it's not that big of a space, like it's big for a game store, but it's not a convention center,
I think the way I can describe it is just those big, long, like warehouse buildings that have like loading docks and stuff in them. And that's what the building is, and it's crazy that they put a game store in it, but it's working. That's awesome.
This is the same place, by the way, that one time I played like a draft there once. Like they just had like a Magic draft, and they had a box full of basic lands. And in the basic lands box, there was just a Flooded Strand fetch land, which is like a pretty expensive card.
A higher sought out card.
Yeah, and like I was there with a guy, and I was like, "Oh, this is sick. We should just take this." And he was like, "No, we should do the right thing and tell the employee that this land is there." And I was like, okay, if you're sure. And then like the guy was like, oh, okay, well, I'll tell the manager that someone made a mistake. And then he took it. And it's like, okay, well.
Yeah, you probably just kept pocketing it.
Yeah, what's the problem? Like, whatever. Anyways, we missed out on that Flooded Strand.
I'm sorry, dude.
I know,
I'm sorry,
man.
Zach.
You
Who
should have
was
been-
it? Out
Should have
them.
been a filthy thief,
We
Zach.
could have split that $25 card or whatever.
Or you could have had your hands cut off for thievery.
There you
Yeah.
go. I probably
Just-
deserve it. Maybe they
Just-
could just cut off a couple more fingers. That
The
wouldn't be too bad.
Roseville Caliphate.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to displease the Sultan.
You know what? Roseville's economy is heavily dependent on Rosedale Mall. So you know what? They take thievery very seriously there.
It's true. That's where Aaron and I go to
That's
watch many a film.
The movie theater, they know Aaron by name there.
They
Are
do.
you? That's your movie theater, AMC?
He's a Stubbs member.
Wow. Wait, really?
Yeah, of course.
Honestly, I've thought. I mean, it's a good deal. It's like 3 movies a month, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. For how much?
Which, if I think it's
that I
like
don't
30 or $40 or something.
I think if you see 2 movies a month, it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not too hard. Certainly not for old Ron Johnson.
Zach, can we talk about a picture Aaron posted of you two
Okay.
recently?
Oh,
Can I bring
boy.
it up?
Okay, sure. Please. look it
We're in
up.
the Aaron part of the show.
Yeah. Well, we can
Every
always
episode.
see if he wants to join.
He's the Oni that haunts I Love You Mana. He's always with us.
Zach's
Uh-huh.
Oni.
Well, because is this the one? Because I was invited to this beer dabbler or the brew.
God.
The,
Do you have to call it that?
The beer
Oh,
dad.
God,
beer
what's
dabbler?
so much?
what's wrong with a
Yeah,
beer?
Dabbler.
It's not that. It's not okay. Its actual name is not that better than Beer Dabbler. It was the Bruisology Beer Fest, and it's like
That's worse.
I know it's terrible. And its logo is like the Breaking Bad logo, but Bruisology.
Oh, I did see that.
Okay, that's not the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
That was for my birthday,
I know.
which I think I don't know if that was this couch. I think that was,
It was
at
another couch.
another leather couch.
Another leather casting couch.
That's a good picture of us.
He
though.
looks so content. He looks like the most content man.
This is
In
all
the
he needs.
world.
This is Zach.
All he needs is Zach. How does it feel to be able to bring somebody so much joy just by
Yeah, I
existing?
wish I could bring anyone in this world this much joy. I wish my wife looked like this. I wish my mother, my father, my parents ever looked at me like this.
Oh, that was a good time, man. I gotta see what that photo is taking.
So Aaron sent me a picture of Garfield presumably having sex with Vegeta today, and I just want to know if he sends that to multiple people.
With what? Sex
Having
with
sex
a
with-
what?
Is Garfield having sex with Vegeta?
Okay, he did send
Oh.
this to a group chat. that
Okay,
I'm in.
see,
yeah.
there you go. It's
So-
not. So I'm not special.
Okay.
Well, I will
Are you disappointed?
We just
I,
like to clarify.
Okay, sure.
I will say that Vegeta being having butt sex is a popular like form of internet. There's a few gifs out there.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Vegeta.
It's not a unique thought.
It's a running joke.
Neither is sexy Garfield at this point.
Yeah, okay. This is like par for the course.
Yeah, different Garfield.
So I thought you're gonna talk about a different picture because so I went to this late night. Okay, it was at the Science Museum. This
That is cool.
is it cool? So it was at like the Science Museum at like 8 p.m. and they closed it down and they had like different breweries that brought their beer out and they give you like this tiny like thimble thing and you would just go up to places and they fill it up with beer. And like I only did this thing because like Island Felt was supposed to go and then he couldn't go because he was sick, and so I took his ticket. And but just like people were just getting trashed and they were like, you know,
At the Science
groping.
Museum.
Yeah, getting trashed at the Science Museum, groping the dinosaurs, and there's like human remains there. There's like a mummy from like 5000 BC or something, and people are just like, you know, humping the casket. It's just like
Classic millennial behavior.
yeah, so many millennial T-shirts. Like I saw so many dudes with like Triforce T-shirts. It's just like
Well, that's what millennials like to do. They like to do stuff they did when they were 6 years old, but intoxicated and ruin it.
like go to the science museum. Yeah.
This is everything about this just seems like wrong. What was it called again?
Bruisology Beer Fest, and the logo is like the Breaking Bad logo with like the first two letters of brew BR being a chemical
because
symbol.
it's at the science museum, and that's the only.
Yeah, I guess, but like it's so weird to like date it to a show from 2009. It just looks so dated.
Why is the science museum demeaning themselves like this?
I don't know. I bet they make a ton of money though. They have to make a ton of money.
At what cost?
Yeah.
It is. They're publicly funded, right? I mean,
are they?
I would assume they get grant money, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I will say that like going there, not that much has changed from when I was a kid. Like I went there when I was a kid. They still have the same like giant hand where you could lift up the fingernail and see the cuticle, and they still have like the wave exhibit. And they still have like the model of like the ventricle system, and like you can like see the like electric heart or like whatever. It's the same
Do they have
stuff.
something that sneezes on you? I remember there was like a thing you would like, open up the flap and it gets sneezed on.
Yeah, they have.
What the hell was that about? The hell did that teach me?
It's just like it's honestly like little like it's like some dad's hobby. It's like, okay, I'm gonna make these little animatronic things, and then like the science museum just got to like free roll them as exhibits, and they've been doing that for like 30 years now. It's the same stuff. The science museum needs new things. How much mileage are you gonna get from like that ball where they like, you know, it blows air on the ball and it kind of keeps it in the same place, and you tilt it back and it continues to like keep the ball in the same place, you know? Like that's fun, but like for how long are you going to coast on that?
Yeah, we should suggest some new exhibits.
Yeah.
Are there other science museums? Like
yeah.
like
Every
the
city.
Science Museum of Cincinnati or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, there's a lot.
For Cincinnati, they just like show you the ballistic physics of like Harambe's skull getting caved in with a sniper rifle.
No, that's a good idea.
You know what? Send it to the Science Museum in Minnesota. They need new ideas.
Do they still have the rap about cigarettes not being good?
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Okay, well, there used to be a little corner with a TV, and there's a song about how you shouldn't smoke cancer sticks, and it made them sound really cool. But
I gotta find this.
Didn't they like call them death sticks in like Star Wars? I think
that's something they don't have. Cigarettes in Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I think in Star Wars, like in one of the prequels, there are death sticks. They were
death sticks. Yeah. There's a guy that goes up to Obi-Wan Kenobi in the best Star Wars movie.
They're like selling them. Yeah.
He's in a bar and he's like, "Hey, you want to buy some death sticks?"
Something like that.
Yeah, I fuck with this. That's the second one, right? Where it's like kind of a detective movie for the first third.
Attack of the Clones is the Star Wars movie I've seen the most times.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's awesome. It's so good.
George rocks, man.
We should watch it in its entirety on the podcast and see if we get copyright strike.
Clone Wars.
You know, maybe we should just post our podcast to Twitter. Then we can do that. You know what I mean? No one's gonna take.
We need to get a like X Blue subscription or whatever in order to post the long form video.
Just post like 30 short ones.
We just put it into a thread.
That is how people are watching. I mean, you know what? That's how Zach watches movies. So
yeah, I've watched a lot of The Social Network on TikTok. So
this is insane. I remember you like watch a movie on YouTube and it would be in like a bunch of 10-minute parts, but 30 seconds is insane to me.
But also, like now, if you want to watch like Rick and Morty, like the rips of Rick and Morty on YouTube, in order to like, you know, because like there's content strike detection, whatever.
That's what they should have at the Science Museum, Rick and Morty.
Honestly, not a terrible idea.
There's probably that's probably been proposed. I mean, they're having
in the works somewhere.
They're having brew. Whatever.
Bruisology Beer Fest.
Yeah, they should sell bongs that look like Rick Sanchez as a pickle.
Yeah. Rick and Morty is also for millennials, right? The younger gens don't care about
No,
that.
it's cringe.
It's completely
cringe
for our terrible
Yeah,
soulless husks.
I'm so glad I watched I think I watched like the worst episode like for first time. It was like there's like a song and dance number in it. I remember, but like
Okay.
Do It Rick or something, and I was like, this is trash. I never watched another episode. Because apparently it's actually pretty good, but like I saw that and I was like, I'm completely out.
I mean, the show's been out for like over 10 years now. Like it's like become the it's like anything. It's like it's been around for too long, and now it's just like kind of gotten stale.
Actually, you know what? Like, Rick and Morty fucking rules because I'm thinking about like all the stuff it's made people do. I'm just
the
thinking about,
Szechuan sauce thing?
yeah, the Szechuan freak out. Like, I'm just thinking, has a show ever really like messed with people, like screwed people up that much? Like, there's like some kid show that turned people into murderers or something. But like,
we talked about this
The
before.
Pokemon, yeah, the seizure episode.
yes,
Yeah.
oh yes, the
We
poor
talked about that with Comrade. Yeah.
Yeah, but Rick and Morty did that, but it made those kids start smoking weed.
That's cool.
God bless you, Justin.
Now I like Rick and Morty. Actually, I did. I was really hungover the day after the Bruisology Beer Fest. I was like, could you believe it? I was shocked that I was hungover the day after the Bruisology Beer Fest, and I was like on Nina's couch, just like feeling like I was gonna vomit. And I was like, what can I watch to like give me some strength, to give me comfort in my darkest moment?
Rick and Morty.
And I played the suicide episode of Rick and Morty. There's a Rick and Morty episode all about suicide, and I just like that was the one I picked on Hulu or whatever.
Why
So
does
you're in a
everything
dark
have to
place.
be like- yeah, like why does why you gotta write? Just I don't know. So don't elevate. Like don't do. You know what?
Yeah, I don't need to have a PSA coming from the new voice of Rick Sanchez. You know, the replacement for Justin Roiland.
Oh right, they just like iced out the creator. I mean, he was like a creep or whatever. But
Yeah,
I
whatever.
forgot about that. Guys,
Anyways,
there's a wait, Zach. Before
Uh-huh.
we move on too far, I do want to know like what were some other behaviors you observed these drunk millennials doing with priceless
okay.
art?
I mean, a lot of that stuff is like just replicas and shit. So it's not like anything is like that valuable. I did see like a guy asked me to take a picture of him and his girlfriend, and he was so trashed, and he was like kissing her and stuff in the picture, and you could
Nice.
just tell that she was like,
Not
this
into
guy
it?
is being not into it, but like she just knew that her
This
man
was
was
his
being
night.
a problem.
She was just like along
She
for the
was
ride.
less drunk. She was just less drunk than him, and she's just
Huh.
like, okay, So that I saw that.
I mean, what exhibit do you think the most finger banging happens in?
Oh god.
I mean, they do have like booths. Like there's little like
Yeah, like,
science.
Probably the race
The
exhibit.
circulatory system.
Yeah. Well, that's a good clue on what you should be doing.
They're gonna bang in the
It's
ventricle of the
destructive.
giant heart.
Yeah, there you go.
They have like a giant inflatable spaceman that goes through the entire thing. It's like in the stairwell. That's like fun to look
I think
at.
this
I
was-
don't know.
Might have been at like the Walker or like the Minneapolis Institute of Art, but there's like a straight up Goon Cave exhibit one.
What?
I went there on like a school. It was when I was in college, and we like drove up to the cities and went to a bunch of like art museums or stuff. I was supposed to. I snuck on. It was for like the art students, and I just like snuck onto the bus with them. But like there was like it was literally like the size of like a phone booth. It was like a little alcove, and like a tiny thing, and in it was like mostly just like black dicks. It was like black dudes in suits with their dicks out. Like
Is that the art museum?
yeah, this is at like I think it was at the Institute of Art, I want to say.
Okay.
There's like a couple little alcoves in the wall, and they all had like they were all like dedicated to different things. And this one was and then it was so funny because like right next to that one like you go in and it was like an AI dolphin that would answer questions you asked it. And I was just like,
When was this?
When was this?
Probably about 2011, I want to say. And
Okay.
it was very, it was so jarring to like go, like you go into that one and then the next one over is like a dolphin that you like ask the meaning of life, and I asked the dolphin what
That-
the meaning of life was.
And that kind of sounds like a Rick and Morty episode set piece. Moving from
Can anyone guess what the dolphin said the meaning of life was? Think Reddit.
Answer.
Yeah,
Or maybe it was
fucking
fish?
nailed it. Yeah, it said
Okay.
42.
Okay.
And that was when I was done with that museum. I was like, I hate art. I hate art so much.
It's not even like art at that point. You're just making a reference to a thing. That's like, you know, like if it's art, I would kind of want something like new. I don't know. Like it's not the place to do like a kind of a lame reference.
It was so awkward now that I'm thinking about it, because I remember the reason I went on that trip was because there was a girl I liked. We were just walking. We were going from the black dick room to the dolphin. I was like doing Hitchhiker's Guide references, and I felt so empty after that. It's one of those soul draining experiences.
Okay, but did it work? Did you seal the deal?
Yeah, did that get riled up? No.
No.
Damn.
Did not.
What good is art? You know, it didn't do its job.
Oh my
It didn't rouse the soul.
It didn't.
In its moment.
Inflame passions.
Speaking of inflaming passions. Oh, sorry. You're gonna transition to something else, Tor?
I can't get. I need to say this because I keep looking at it, and this goes back before we were joined. How do you say your name? Moiz. Moiz. Okay, good. I didn't want to swing and miss on that one. But this goes back before you joined us. We were talking about popes, and dude, there were some crazy ass pope names. There's a pope.
Oh yeah, like there was like how many Pope Innocent?
Oh, there's
Pope,
a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of Pope Innocents.
Yeah.
Methinks the lady doth protest too much. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
Well, if you were a bad guy, what better way to get away with it?
Yeah, right.
Than be like, my name.
I'm literally innocent, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get like a new name. You basically become like a different. It's
you get to rebrand.
Eating the royal jelly and becoming the queen bee. You become something completely different.
It's like the Sith, you know, when he becomes the Sith Lord.
Pope Grievous.
Yeah.
Hey, they eat the communion wafer and it like alters their DNA. That's fucking insane.
Wow. Midnight Bass vibes.
Do you want to name? You want to say some of the names, Tor?
Yeah. What are your favorite names?
I'm stuck on Pope Lando because it was like it's from
Lando.
it's from the 10th century, and like it's just a dude named Lando, man. What the?
That's cool.
That's all. Sorry, that's all I got. But I was like, it was bothering me because there's a Pope.
The weirdest
Lando.
one.
I don't know. I just had the
you can't put another Pope name other than Pope Lando.
I mean,
there's not another highlight.
Calixtus.
Okay,
Urban. There's just a Pope Urban.
Pope Bruisology.
Pope Morty.
There's
going to be a Pope Morty.
Wait, Pope Justin Johnson, the innocent. No, wait, no. What's the guy's name?
Who?
Not Justin. Who's the guy who was the voice actor?
Oh,
Roiland.
Justin Roiland, the innocent.
Yeah, Justin Roiland, the innocent.
That's
pretty good. If I didn't flub the landing.
There's Sixtus the Fourth. He should have been Fourthus the Fourth.
Oh, we love our popes.
Folks, we love our popes.
There's been some great popes over the years. A lot of popes. They just keep coming. They keep coming out with new popes. Who do you think the next pope's going to be?
Pope Fiction.
Okay,
Fiction.
now we're riffing.
Whoa.
Now we're riffing, folks.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm sorry. I just completely.
This is why this comic
We're
is
bringing
one of
the big guns. Yeah.
most interesting ideas in the scene, from things like Pope Fiction. I like Pulp Fiction. Why not? That's good.
Yeah. You can title the episode.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction. I like that. There we go. We don't have to think too much. All right. Let me.
Anyway, KeyForge OP back up in March.
Mhm.
That's when they're doing store championships.
Are you going to get back out there?
Well, yeah, and I don't know. There for sure will be some at Game Center. I don't know what other local game stores are going to have them, but that's like the start of the season, and I think the turnout is going to determine how things go from here. You know.
Do you foresee a bright future to KeyForge?
I think this is the make or break year.
Wow.
In a lot of ways. Well, no, because they brought the game back. They had crowdfunding. It got $1.1 million.
Oh wow!
And then they made a bunch of decisions that pissed off, to some degree, portions of the player
Everyone.
base.
That is a classic. That is a classic crowdfunding.
The second crowdfunding campaign for Set 7, $600,000. So
Okay, a little
substantial drop off.
Diminishing returns.
Right, so that's why I think if this, and then Set 7 is supposed to be September of this year, so that's kind of where I think things hinge, right? Because
it has to be a hit, basically.
And then like local has to kind of pull more people in than they currently are, because like last year they did cash prizes for nationals and worlds, and then this year they're like, we're not doing that. And some people in Europe, I think, are upset because that, would have paid for their travel to Roseville. But
lovely Roseville, Minnesota.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to justify your flight from like Stockholm to St. Paul, Minnesota.
It's not even close to the airport. It's not close to the. It's like a 40-minute drive from the airport too. It's weird. Roseville is like undergoing this really weird transformation right now.
Like Set 7 just came out, and it's pretty fun, but that beyond that you do have to kind of keep the player base growing rather than the other way, which is what happened.
Can you use decks from Set 1 still?
Yeah, there's no set rotation at all.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
Actually, a Set 1 deck won Worlds last year, so.
What's the name of your favorite deck? Sorry, I've been curious. The deck.
What one did you play?
Well, I played Alliance, but the one I was playing Archon in, which is just like a solo deck, is like Arroyo de Rorvine, the original. It's very wordy.
Okay.
I had one I opened. It was called the Leather Devil, which
that sounds pretty good.
It was a garbage deck, but I traded it to somebody.
How many decks do you have?
Like 150.
Oh.
Right now, but that's over since 2019.
Okay, yeah, and I can't say that like.
So.
Yeah,
I know some people that just the latest crowdfunding they got, like 10 boxes or whatever.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Hey, what about this? Everybody popes. Is that something?
Well, I got something we can end on to wrap it up.
Well, wait, before
I have to finish.
Wait, I'm jumping queue. Moiz, we have a recurring segment is we have a voice message machine.
Yes. Okay.
And only I have the access to it, but periodically we have fans and random people and celestial beings call in. We have one. It's been a while.
From Ireland.
Yeah, we got a big Irish contingent.
For some reason, Ireland is like our most listened.
Because Zach has the gift of gab.
There you go. I like that. And
that's exactly it. All right.
I'm licking the Blarney stone.
Good morning, ILYM Podcast. It's Gavin Verhey calling with an exciting opportunity to purchase a free preview card for an upcoming Secret Lair. As you know, it's my job to drum up business, and because your show marches to the beat of a different drum, I have Secret Lair drums. Secret Lair drums features iconic cards that are drum themed, like Springleaf Drum, Goblin War Drum, Drum Bellower, and Conundrum Sphinx. because in hindsight, there just aren't that many drums in Magic. Well, like a broken drum, this deal can't be beat. I know I've snared you with this offer, so act now if you want to buy in. I can be reached at 1-800. Oh, actually, we laid that guy off. Just tweet me. And remember, you got this.
It is so satisfying to watch his comedy develop over the years.
Yeah, he's getting good.
Because he would have ended on the drum pun. It can't be beat before, and then he tagged it. He tagged it.
Yes.
Oh,
I
so
love it.
that's not a real secret layer.
No. That is Gavin Verhey.
No.
That is Gavin Verhey. He is a person at Wizards of the Coast. He is
A head designer.
Head designer, yeah. And he does leave voice messages on our podcast where he obliquely refers to the massive layoff that happened this Christmas. So it's nice to have that kind of connection to the people who actually make
insider.
the game. Yeah, it's definitely not a local dad in South Minneapolis who listens to our show.
And I went ahead and did the math on the 4 cards Gavin listed for us, and the total value, the EV of Goblin War Drum, Springleaf Drum, Drum Bellower, and Conundrum Sphinx is a whopping 5. Wait, oh god,
5. If it's $5, I'd be impressed. I'm surprised it broke $1.
$5.40.
Okay. Springleaf Drum were printed recently. It was in like the Brothers Lair, Brothers War bonus sheet.
The
Brothers Goon Lair. That's where Mishra and Urza were competitively gooning, and that's how they split the Mightstone and Weakstone.
That was the Silex blast.
Yeah, they just gooned too hard.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how far away are we from like John Bonham being put in Magic?
Not even far.
That's the only drummer I can think. And then there's Keith Moon.
Okay.
We could have
Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl. There's another.
Okay. Well, there's also Ringo. Yeah.
Ringo.
We're thinking too narrow. We need oil drums or the drums
sure.
and stuff
eardrums.
Eardrums. Yes.
There is a card that does look like, I think, Mind Leech or something. Looks like it's in your eardrum. So that's it's already part of it. I mean, that was low hanging fruit, Gavin. You could have done that. Okay, look. Should I tell this story that I started an hour ago?
And then next tour.
Wrap it up with Greg Coleman.
We're on the edges of our seat.
Okay, so I don't know if I told you this story, Moiz, but I was working at Absolutely Haram last Thursday, and I was doing the booth, and Greg Coleman was the headliner. And Greg Coleman, of course, very funny little comic, funny. The son of the punter for the Vikings. But he also goes long, as you might know. So he's going around 20 minutes into his 15-minute set, and he's doing this thing. He's doing this new bit. He's workshopping, and he's asking the audience what they thought of it, what was funny, what wasn't funny. He asked them all these questions, and at the end, he goes "Okay, I asked you a bunch of questions. Do you have any questions for me?" And so one girl in the audience blurts out, "Would you rather have sex with a human body with the head of a dog, or a dog body with the head of a human?" And then Greg immediately goes, we're getting some of the crossover noise from the door here, sorry. Greg immediately, he snap goes, human body, dog head, right? And to which the girl...
That's the only answer.
I mean, what are you doing if you're saying, you're some kind of weird virtue signal if you're saying that, yes, I want your mind, baby, give me that dog body. But, she gets mad at him because she says that he's gross for saying dog head, human body, because the dog head cannot consent.
Wow, it's grooming.
Okay.
She thought of this, dude. The lady that asked that question has had sex with dogs. I'm not. It's not even the only conceivable way you'd even come up with that question is if you
That's a
fucking.
good
It's gotta be
question.
something from the internet or
It's
whatever.
weighing on your conscience if that's the question you come up with.
Loaded question.
She had it She had it locked and loaded, and she just like shot at Greg, and he just grabbed it and he was like, he was not having it, of course, but like Greg, he wants to work with this, he wants to like run with it, so he's just like milking this, and he's just like riffing on having peanut butter and all this stuff. But like, he ends up like going like the 30 minutes just like riffing on this thing. And I'm like ready to go home. But at some point I just start playing Who Let the Dogs Out to clear out everybody off the stage. And then when that was done, right? Like everyone goes upstairs. They I cut the checks for Ahmed. I like, clean up the room, cut the tapes, close off the lights, put away the mics, all that stuff. When I'm done, I go upstairs. And, Comedy Corner is at the basement of the bar, right? So you go upstairs to the bar. There at the bar is Greg Coleman, this girl, and all her friends, and they're still debating it.
Oh my god!
Like, they would not leave him alone. And Greg is just, like, having a good time. He's just, like, riffing about it. I mean, my opinion, not that anyone asked, but in my opinion, a dog head human body, it's not a dog, it's like an Egyptian god, right? Like that's yeah, exactly. Your heart is being weighed against a feather. Like that's what's going on.
Why is it not the reverse? Why is the other one not?
The other one is Mars Attacks. It's
oh yeah.
The other one is like an anti-god. The other one's kind of like a demon. It's unholy.
The Yellow King. It's good. Julie.
It's Carcosa.
Yeah.
Is Night Country good?
No, it's one of the worst shows I've ever watched.
Tor, are you watching it?
I watched 2 episodes. I got 1.5 episodes.
Dude, I'm watching.
Oh, sorry.
No. I'm also watching it. I'm curious what you're gonna say.
I don't want. I'm being hyperbolic. Hyperbolic. I can't talk today. But they're saying it's the worst show ever made. It's one of those things that was obviously meant to just be like its own thing.
Yes.
But they're like, no, it has to be an IP. So it's like we got this script, we got this story written,
So they shoved like True Detective season 1 stuff into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a way that Tor, I just learned. I'm only up to Ep 2, but the things I learned in Ep 2 would probably enrage you to no end.
Dude, I turned off Ep 2. I turned it on. I'm like, I'm done. I thought the only thing that kept me going into the second episode was the forced cream pie in the first episode. I was like, that was the funniest scene I've ever seen. That was the funniest fucking scene I have ever seen in a TV show ever. And
someone gets cream pie, or
lady forces cream pie.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. She doesn't let him.
He's like, no, and she goes, yeah. She's just like, dude, it's like.
To be fair, she's a beast. It's cool. I thought it was cool.
That is something you put in the first episode.
It was hilarious to me.
Wait, why? To keep people watching?
Yeah, every show they put the sexy stuff in episode 1, and then every other episode ends with a cliffhanger, and then that's like.
So you watch the first episode because you want to see the sexy stuff.
Yeah,
and then you get hooked.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Okay, interesting.
It's modern television.
This is one of the comic with the smartest ideas in the comedy scene. Most interesting ideas.
Well, okay, Belly, can you attest this? Because you never, how when you're watching a show, or the example I would use is like when there's like a show and there's like a group of teenagers and they're talking. And the dialogue was obviously written by somebody who was not of that generation. It's like just some year-old or whatever trying to write dialogue with teenagers. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I heard some criticism from like the Native community, just being like this does not feel true to any Native experience in.
Not even that. It
feels
interesting. I want to look at that.
It's like the dudiest, I don't know how to, like, the dudiest, and I mean that like dudes, like just the dudiest. They're the most like masculine like woman cop duo like ever written. They're just, I mean, the Force Creed bias. So, like, I was just like, I love this character.
Jodie Foster is gay, like in real life, and she plays a straight.
Interesting.
And then I'm not sure about the other actress.
Should we name this episode Force Cream Pie? That's pretty compelling too.
We have a lot of compelling directions. Casting couch.
Pope Fiction.
Pope Fiction. I mean, it's a close running, I think.
Okay, Tor, I'm just going to tell you the 2 things I learned about Ep 2 that are going to send you over the edge.
Yeah, we're deep enough in the episode.
The first is, you know the like ghost dude with long hair?
Yeah.
His last name is Cole.
Oh.
And Russ Cole's father was supposed to have lived in Alaska.
Yeah, there was like an Alaska.
Yes, there's an Alaska connection. So possibly that character is Russ Cole's father.
Well,
the other
is.
The other, the other is the science station is owned by the
tunnel. The tunnel. I already knew about that. I was
okay.
That was kind of my last straw. Was the I don't know what I was kind of half watching the second episode, so I was literally playing Cyberpunk while it was on.
Well, speaking of who's the Dave Filoni? It's like the Dave Filonification of True Detective. Like Dave Filoni is the guy who like does all the Star Wars stuff now. Like he did the animated show, and it's so like I don't know. It's self-referential.
Okay.
It's like the Yellow King shows up. And
So it's like it's kind of that thing where it's just like there's fucking like a million connections to season 1, and we're just like, just chill, just let it be its own thing.
Like throw in a couple.
As soon as I heard Tuttle, I was like, that was I just heard it. Like I heard like,
yeah.
Maybe I saw. I don't remember. Tuttle came on. And I was like, done. I'm gonna go watch X-Files. I started watching X-Files like again. Like, so I'm like,
well, that's the purest form of television, as we've established. The X-Files. Yeah, that's the only good television according to Tor Uggen.
It's the keystone of all modern media. Is the X-Files. They did it first.
I'm watching it for the first time, and Tor is kind of shepherding me through the experience.
Beautiful.
In season 3, have you gotten to Pusher yet?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's coming up. Like, as I watched where you were at. I think it's like episode 18.
Yeah, Tor is like monitoring where I am at.
I want to know. I love X-Files. So, when you hit Pusher belly, just know you're in for a good one.
Okay.
You're in for a good one. All right. Do we have anything else we want to cover?
Yeah, I want to give Moiz an opportunity to do any plugs if you want to do any plugs.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm on Instagram, Moiz__ Hasan.
For more intriguing and interesting ideas.
I should post more stuff. But
yeah, you have to share your ideas with the world, Moiz.
Yeah, I do have a lot of ideas.
He sure does. But thank you for joining the show. It was really interesting in your perspective on KeyForge.
Yeah.
Also, because
if you're interested in KeyForge, hit up your local game store. Yeah. There'll be championships in March. There's a fairly active online community and stuff.
Cool. Sick. Anything from you guys?
Sick, bro.
Can you just do that one more time, Zach?
Yeah, just do it. We'll end on that. All right.
Sick.
Well, wish me luck in Denver, but like, don't put too much fine point on it.
When do you fly? You fly on a Thursday.
I fly on Thursday. Yes.
And when are you actually playing?
So I have a practice tournament on Friday that doesn't matter for anything. It's just like, it's gonna be my first time playing the deck in paper against like, a living, breathing human. And then the tournament
you should bring oxygen
Friday.
back.
Yeah, so listeners, viewers.
Oh, yes, because it's in Denver.
Oh, yeah.
Bring a little oxygen canister.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that. Yeah.
Listeners,
I'm going to be
viewers, send Zach your positive energy over the weekend.
Oxygen.
What's that guy from like that villain from like one of the David Lynch movies who has like an oxygen tank and he like talks about
oxygen tank, Zach?
What?
That wasn't an oxygen tank.
What is it?
You're talking about the baby wants to fuck.
Okay, I don't know.
He's taking
Also a
his-
good.
Oh, from Blue Velvet.
Blue
yeah, it's Blue
Velvet,
Velvet.
okay.
Dennis Hopper.
Another great.
Baby wants to.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Epcot,
also-
all right.
Aaron is joining for the last second of the podcast. Say, have a good night,
Say-
Mana Pampers. Goodbye,
Who are
Mana.
you talking to?
Say, I love you, Mana.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Belly and Tor and Moiz.
Oh, okay. Oh, Moiz. Hey, buddy. How you doing, Moiz?
Yeah,
See you later.
on the podcast.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
I love you, Aaron. See you later.
Okay. Love you, Mana